Welcome to the Piano Sensei Way. I am your host, Clinton Pratt, and I'm here to help you master the art of running a successful piano teaching studio. This is the first time I'm trying a live stream, so welcome everybody. And I thought, even if nobody shows up, it's okay because I'm still going to do the presentation, but it might be fun to have people ask questions or interact. So, Jennifer Fox, hey, and Natalia and Chima, welcome. So, today we're going to be talking about summer income. I know this comes up a lot. I keep seeing it in the Facebook group. People say, what do you guys do for the summer? Because my students want to take the summer off for vacations, or they want fewer lessons, and then I lose all this income. And I totally understand. I've been there, and it can be frustrating. So these are the problems. People have vacations, travel, activities. They want to take the summer off. Since they're off from school, they want a break from piano. That's one of my pet peeves when they say, "Oh, we just want a break." It's like, no, you're quitting. And obviously, then you lose money because you're teaching less, and students take off, so they're not going to pay if they're not there, and so these are the problems with the summer income that I see. And hello, Tennessee Music Academy. I think that's Michael. Okay, so these are the problems, but I'm going to help you fix them. So, do you want to maintain your income for the summer months? Do you want to increase your income for summer months? I know most of you probably just trying to maintain income, and you think, well, how can I even increase it? I have trouble just maintaining it because students leave or take a break. So not only maintain but increase, and still allow for student vacations and breaks. Excuse me. And this is my favorite, still have vacations and breaks in your schedule. Okay, so not only can you have breaks and vacations, and you're teaching less, and your students also have breaks and vacations, but then you actually earn more during the summer than you do during the year. Okay, and that's how it's been with me in my studio. I always make more in the summer than I do during the school year, yet I'm teaching less and I have vacations and breaks all throughout. So yes, that's what we want. So to maintain income, first, you basically need to do a flat monthly fee if you aren't already doing that. Okay, so it's the same amount every month all year round. And check out episode 7, which goes into detail the way the way flat rate tuition minimizes stress. So there's a whole episode on that. So yeah, so you need to do a flat monthly fee all year round, and then in the summer, you have a set number of lessons, but flexible scheduling. Okay, for my studio, it's 6. Every student gets 6 lessons during like 11 or 12 weeks. So it's only, half the time, really. Also, have a creative project, a fun recital, some kind of practice challenge, an ice cream party, etc. Because this gives incentive for students to stay, because of course we're going to do it in the summer, because at the end we have our such and such, right? For many years we did this multimedia recital at the end of the summer called Music Alive, where students would play music along with videos or photos or dancing and lights, and it was this huge production. It was so much fun. But that's what we worked on in the summer. So if you took the summer off, then you couldn't do that. Everybody wanted to do that because it was so much fun. So that's incentive, which is very important. Now, to increase income, you can offer additional lessons for additional fee. And this happens more often than you think, actually, because many of my students, and probably yours, they want more than just whatever number of lessons you're offering. For example, like I said, in my studio, we do 6 lessons in the summer, and that's over about 11 or 12 weeks. So some students, mm, even adults or kids or whoever, they're around for more than just those 6 weeks. So they say, hey, can we take 8 lessons or 10 lessons instead of the 6? So of course the answer is yes. And then there's another fee because they're taking additional lessons. You could offer camps or workshops or other things. So they get their 6 lessons because they're just continuing to pay their monthly fee. Everything stays the same. They get their lessons. But hey, do you want to come to this camp? We're doing it's however much money for this week-long camp, or every Monday for 5 weeks or whatever it is, or you have some kind of workshop. So those are other ideas for offering something besides the regular lessons. Okay, so they get their regular lessons as long as they're just continuing to pay the tuition, but then they can do something optional for an additional fee. So in my studio, pretty much everybody stays enrolled during the summer, so that it maintains the income. And then several students take additional lessons, and then sometimes we have camps or workshops too. And by the way, if you have any questions or comments now, just put that in the chat, and I'll interrupt myself and answer, or save it to the end, or whatever. And it looks like we have about 7 people watching. Yay! I just wanted at least one, so that's good. Okay, so that's increasing income. Now, how do you do it? Well, like I said, with the flat rate, include summer months into the annual tuition. Okay, so don't make it a separate term or season or semester, like, oh, now we're done. We finished through May or June or whatever you do. So now, are you going to sign up for summer? You need to stay enrolled. Don't make it like that. It's just ongoing enrollment. Always, we just assume people are going to stay enrolled for 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, right? It's not sign up for this semester, sign up for this semester. Now, if you like doing that, you can have terms if you have people like pay up front for a whole term or something. But I've found that if you just include it, everything, it's just ongoing, then people don't think that it's separate and then they have a choice, right? I mean, of course they have a choice. We're not forcing them to take lessons, but it's just psychological. Like, oh, we're coming up to the end of the school year. You're enrolling for the summer, right? Like, no, just assume, that they're continuing. So include the summer months, don't make it separate, and then break, meaning if the students say, hey, I want to break, well, that really just means you're not enrolled. Okay, so I have something in my policy that says, this isn't the exact wording, but there's no such thing as taking a break. You're either enrolled or you're not. Okay, so if you want to break, all right, that's your choice. You can hopefully decide to come back, but you're really just quitting. So you're not enrolled. So you lose your spot in the schedule. You'll have to re-enroll again. And in my studio, that means paying the deposit, which is a full month. So, it's easier just to stay enrolled. Also, I should have made this a bullet point, but 6 summer lessons or however many it is you choose to offer, it doesn't necessarily mean once a week for 6 different weeks. It could be that you see a student twice a week for 3 weeks. Maybe they're gone for 8 weeks in the summer or something. Okay, great. I'll see you 3 times in the first week of June. You can come 3 times a week. And then 3 times when you come back, or double the lesson length. Okay, if they're doing like 45-minute lessons, say, hey, you come for 90 minutes twice, and then that's four lessons already. Let's see. Jennifer said, I also offer summer video lessons. They can choose a camp session or a set of video lessons, or for an extra cost, both. Oh, okay. I like that. I always have a handful to do that extra money. Yeah, that's interesting. A camp session, video lessons is good because you obviously you put some work into that, but then the work is done, so you're not actually like they're already done, so they're getting the videos, right? That's cool. I will post the StreamYard link in the chat, and anybody who wants to join, you can come on camera if you want to make a comment or ask a question at some point. I'll put that in there. Okay, great. Okay, now here's some math. Let me move my face. Okay, so the math. Again, I go into more detail in episode 7 for flat rate, but count all the lessons for the school year, and you're considering holidays and breaks, so you're closed for winter break and spring break or whatever. And manipulate it so that all the days have the same number. So there's the same number of Monday lessons as Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, etc. Then add the number of summer lessons that you're going to offer. In my case, it's 6. So there you have the total number of lessons. Multiply by your rate. That's your annual tuition. Divide by 12. That's your monthly tuition. And that's it. It's easy. And some clients might ask, wait, we pay the same in the summer even though there's fewer lessons? Yes, but guess what? You pay the same in April when you had 5 lessons in 1 month. Do you want to pay more in April and less in June? You could, but we just equal it out, right? So I know sometimes it's hard for people to understand. They feel like they're getting swindled or shortchanged when there's fewer lessons. But when there's more lessons, do they offer to pay more? Like, oh, wow, we have 5 lessons in April. Can I pay you more? No, of course they don't do that. They only complain when there's fewer. So just remind them, yes, it's fewer lessons in the summer, but it's all worked out for the whole year. So we had more in April, we had more in October, whatever. There were 4 in March, there were 3 in December, there's 5 in April, there's 2 in June, or whatever it is. So that's the math. Okay, now another option is divide the annual tuition by 10. So there's no payments for June and July or July and August. Okay, so if you think about it, if you do $100 a month for 12 months, that's $1,200. Well, you could do $120 a month for 10 months. It's also $1,200. So it's the same amount that they're paying, but if you squeeze it into 10 payments, then, even though it's a higher rate, sometimes that's attractive to clients because the summer lessons are free. I mean, they're not really free, but they don't have to pay in the summer. It's like included, right? Warning, budget. Okay, so if you're not having the income for those 2 months, don't be surprised, right? Because you planned it that way. So budget it out. Jennifer said, just that thing. I highly recommend including summer choices into the annual tuition. Keep it simple. I divide my tuition in 10 payments, so by the time May rolls around, summer is already paid for. Yes, it's very good. Actually, Jennifer, I have a question about that. If you wanted to join and come on so we could talk about it for a second, that would be cool. If not, say no and I'll just tell you here. But yes, I had a question about that. Okay, so yeah, because I'm thinking it's just easier for me to do every month. That way people can enroll anytime, quit anytime, whatever. It kind of just all works out. Um, so yeah, my question is, if it's 10 months, okay, and they join in April or May, and then okay, well they don't have to pay for summer, and then they quit, then they got all these lessons. I don't know. So that's my question. Um, okay, live Q&A. So that was short because I was hoping people would want to come on or ask questions or whatever. If not, I will make up my own questions and pretend to be somebody. So if you want to ask any other questions or comments in the chat, or if anybody would like to come on, you just click the StreamYard link. You don't have to show your face if you don't want, but then you could speak your question or comment. And I will go first. Actually, I think I asked already. What if clients complain that there are fewer lessons in the summer? Right? And so just explain, well, we're not charging you more when there's more. Jennifer says, I can join, not sure how. Oh, just click the StreamYard link. I'll post it again. And then it'll tell you what to do. It's just joining it's like joining a Zoom thing or a whatever. Okay, let me get rid of that. Oh, yay! There's Jennifer. How are you?
Good. I probably should. I'm hearing feedback, so what should I do?
Let me do. Okay, you do have echo cancellation, so I think it's fine on our end, unless you have headphones. But I think it's okay. Yes, and Jennifer is a expert too. I should have you on
I know
the
what I
whole.
did. YouTube was still on, that's why.
Oh, okay. Yes. Mute YouTube. So yeah, you're like a summer guru. So I'm glad you joined.
Oh.
No, you're awesome. So yeah, I've thought about the 10 payments thing. So yeah, what happens like if somebody enrolls in April or May? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so if they say I have mine particular enrollment periods, but so that does help. But they would have to. I would explain, how the tuition work includes summer, and so they would just have to pay a little bit more that first month to account for whatever they, missed. So the first month would be higher to account for, the division of the payments, but then after that it would be normal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I never have
yeah.
anybody join in like in April or May.
Oh,
But if
okay.
I did, I would probably just like that late and, close to summer, I would probably just have them pay the full summer option
Right.
separately.
Yeah, and then the next summer, then they
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I like your idea about the um video lessons,
Mhm.
or you said camp or a set of video lessons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
that's
cool.
become pretty popular too.
Yeah. So is it tell us a little bit more about that. Like how many is it, and is it catered to them, or is it for
So
everybody?
I do it by levels, and so anybody in that level will get a particular set of video lessons. Um, so then I'm not doing a million videos, but I'm a big advocate about reusing things. And so I have a history of past videos. And so then I kind of keep track of what year I did when, and then I can rotate videos. So that's a big time saver too.
Okay, yeah. And can they watch them at their own pace?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
totally on their own.
And are there assignments, or you ask them to give something back to you, or they just do it?
Yeah, so summer is pretty much on your own type of thing, but I do have summer challenges weekly challenges that I do that are just scheduled out and they just go out to the kids. And then I use practice space and so they can, put in the chat and share things in there, but it's not necessarily taking a lot of my time. I'll just look at them and stuff, but it's not a lesson. It's not,
Right.
anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And then since this whole topic is like um, maintaining your income or increasing your income, do
Hmm.
you maintain your income at least?
Yes, I
Yeah.
always make more in the summer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm so happy. I know because I know it's a struggle with a lot of teachers. I'm sympathetic because I've been there and like it's really depressing,
Yeah.
when you want to have an enjoyable summer and take a vacation or something and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have any money because I'm not teaching. And,
Right.
and then you have like summer of struggle. It's like, that's sad. Yeah, I'm sympathetic. So,
Yeah. Yeah. For
um,
sure.
Michael said, I've been doing summer like this for several years now. So easy. One time I had a complainer, and when I itemized their lessons, they actually had a larger balance to pay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They were probably like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll keep doing it your way. Thanks, Michael. I love that. That's great. Um, okay, let's see. Natalia said, it's a little difficult for me and my students due to having them practice for ABR, ABRSM exams, both practical and music theory. Any suggestions for that? So you mean it's difficult having them practice? You mean you want more lessons for them in the summer? Is that what she's saying?
That's what I'm getting from it. Um,
Because they have to practice, or they're working on their exams. Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to do fewer lessons in the summer.
you might want to think about just like video coaching, like do like the video lessons where you have you're going through their exam piece and everything, and then have like an extra feature where if they want that extra coaching, and then base it on what your schedule is, that you want. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'm curious when those exams are. If they at the end of the summer or fall, or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Nat- Natalia, if you want to join the stream, you can, or just chat. Yeah, okay. She says video lesson
Video
will
won't
not
work.
work. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can. But yeah, I'm not sure if your question is how to still have lessons and progress with fewer lessons. If that's your question, then don't have fewer lessons. Or if it's they want vacations, but are also trying to prepare for an exam. And I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22, right? If they want to prepare for an exam and they need lessons, then they can't be like, oh, but we're gonna take off for the summer. So yeah, it's really they gotta decide what they want, I guess. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What else do you have? Do you have any other? Um, since you're on, Jennifer, do you have any other thoughts about summer income?
I think one of my biggest things I hear from teachers, there's a bunch of things, but one of the things is they're worried about how families are going to respond, especially if it's a big change, that you haven't done before. And I think it's one of those things that you have to be confident in yourself and what you're offering, because they're going to feed off of whatever, you're giving. And so if you're excited and you're like, this is going to be great, it's in your best interest and everything, then they're going to feed off of that. But if you're hesitant, they're going to feed off of that. So you have to think of, when you're ready to do whatever you're going to do, be ready and confident and excited about it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes I want to mention this too. I think we did this last summer. I had some different options. So instead of just, okay, you get 6 lessons, we had options of you can have 3 lessons and the camp. our camp was like 4 days during 1 week. I think 2 hours a day. So that was actually a really good deal because that's like 8 hours of a camp.
Mm-hmm.
So just continue your normal payments and you have 3 lessons and a camp. Or you could just do the camp. Or if you wanted to do all 6 lessons and the camp, then you pay it an extra fee, like $99 or 150. I forget what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But that worked really well because some people just did the camp because then they basically had the rest of their summer off from piano, right? But
Yeah.
we kept making the same money because that was just part of their fee. Or some people did the 3 lessons plus the camp, and then several people actually did both, so they paid a little extra.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to, when I was younger, I used to offer all sorts of different camp sessions
Mm-hmm.
and subjects and stuff. And yeah. And so the more they would do, the more money that would come in.
Right.
But I've, over the years, I've tried to simplify that.
Right. Now I have other teachers at the studio too, right? So I didn't actually teach any of the camps. It's
Uh-huh. Okay.
myself.
Nice.
Do you have other teachers too, or
Mm-mm.
just you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's me.
So yeah, if you're a solo teacher, yeah, the more options you offer, like you're doing them all, you know.
Yeah.
But if you've got multiple teachers, it's nice because you can plan it and then pay the teachers a nice amount, and then you don't actually have to be there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. One other thing that I thought I'd mention too is sometimes teachers um, are hesitant to do like camps or something different where you're teaching less during the summer because they feel like the kids are going to forget everything that they've learned if you take too long of a break. But I've been doing this for so long, I have not really seen that to be the case. It's just, and like I said, I do those the summer challenges and stuff. So there's ways to get, have them keep playing. So I call, summer's the time to play, just play. Don't worry about, you know, practicing for a
Yeah.
particular event or, just enjoy. So I think when you have that, they might actually play more, than maybe before.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I try to stress that too. Like play, yeah, it doesn't have to be like progress, but
Hmm.
sometimes they do progress, or they get better at their pieces.
Yeah.
I like to have my students keep a playlist. We call it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, whatever, that they've already learned and can play, and then they just keep playing it, right? So
Yeah.
they should be able to just on demand play something from their list, like they're at a friend's house and they have a piano, like, oh, just be able to play one of your things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and I haven't seen too much where if they have less stuff or less lessons in the summer, then they come back and like, oh my gosh, they lost all this progress. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, sometimes maybe a little bit, but who cares? It's fine. Like it's right. It doesn't have to be like you're progressing at such and such rate constantly, consistently every week for your whole entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Natalia did say digital exams, they're on demand and with various pieces, it's hard to give them recordings. Right. Okay. So forget the recordings. But then Michael asked her, are you saying it's difficult to have fewer lessons over the summer or charge flat rates each month? Yes.
Mm,
That's what I was curious about too. So,
yeah.
Natalia, you can come on or answer that or not. And sorry if I
Yeah.
didn't answer your question, but
She's in a perfect position to do if she includes that summer, but do it at that flat tuition rate. You're in a perfect position where they'll get the help that they need because it's included already in the tuition.
yeah. And for theory, because she mentioned they take practical and theory exams. So
Hmm.
you could do video or something for theory because it's my understanding that depending on the level, like, oh, I have these students, they're taking such and such level theory. then they go through a workbook or a course or whatever. So you could make those into videos. I think. I don't know. I know it's like that for RCM because I do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Just
said,
thinking
I'm
about
fine
providing.
with the flat rate, just thinking about provide a video for each of them. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it won't work for video, but yeah, but you can still keep the flat rate. Um, and then, yeah, I was anticipating somebody asking, I think like, is it Canada or maybe like Eastern US? There are some regions where the mentality and the culture is totally like the summer is completely off, like
Right.
it is a vacation. And so like
Right.
they, you know, and if that's the case, where like, because I have heard some teachers say, like, I really can't get hardly any of my students to do anything in the summer because they all go south or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then just, I would say, plan your rates or whatever so that you earn enough during the other months
Yeah.
that the summer income doesn't matter,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I have to say, one of my first, I always do a before summer gets out session option for my camp. And I have to say, that one is one of my most popular sessions
Oh, that's
before
cool.
school even gets out. Yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
yeah, yeah.
after. Yeah. So, I'm always looking for the solutions of things. So, where there's a problem, okay, where's the solution?
Yeah.
Because occasionally I have students that will go out of the country for the whole summer or as soon as school gets out. Or I live in Arizona and it's hot. And so everybody just wants to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to find those. Okay, what's the solution?
Yeah. Did you how long have you been doing summers like this? Or was there a period where you struggled in the summer too?
When I first started like camps, and I've been doing camps for 30 years now.
Mm.
So when I first started them, they were a separate, they weren't like included in the tuition. It was a separate thing. But I would say that and if they wanted to keep their spot in the fall, then they would need to do it. Um, and so there was always going to be that little parent or two that would test that. And every time they tested it, they realized that was a stupid mistake on their part because then they would have to wait longer to get back in. And
Yeah.
so they learned not after the first time they learned not to do it. So that's how I used to do it before.
Okay. But so basically you started camps when you started teaching then. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah, almost.
okay.
Yeah, a few years after. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it actually. I love the summer. Because yeah, I'm not stressed about the income and I have breaks and I do trainings and stuff too. Like I leave for a week for eurythmics training, and like even though that's kind of work, it's fun. But I don't have to worry about it. And um, yeah, like last year, I barely taught. I was actually 3 weeks in Colorado, and
Oh, nice.
1 week somewhere else. Oh, and I went to NCKP, and yeah, I was like, are my students even gonna remember that they like are they going to remember me because a lot of them did the camp, which was another teacher, so they were still
Uh-huh.
coming to the studio, but yeah, it was just
Right.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so you have to read Natalia's latest comment. That's
Oh,
a
okay.
great idea, Natalia.
This one. Yeah, but
Yes,
I have
yes,
a thought of make a camp for them in technique and artistic performance.
yes.
Oh, Evrika, what's Evrika?
I read it kind of like a eureka,
Eureka.
like a light
Oh,
bulb
okay.
moment. Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
light
yeah.
bulb moment thing.
Yeah, make a camp for them like
Yeah,
that.
that's a great idea.
Hmm. Yeah, and then Michael said if you make a new policy in August or September to include summer in a flat rate plan, what does it look like when summer actually gets here? What if you are not using auto pay? Okay, let me think about that. If you make new policy in August or September, what does it look like when summer actually gets here? Um, I'm not sure I know what you mean. I think you mean Um, what does it look like as far as people making payments? Um, or what? Yeah, I'm not sure if you could
Yeah,
clarify.
I'm not clear on that either.
So yeah, you make a new policy. Um, so you do all the math. Here's the tuition, and then when it comes to summer, yeah, they just keep paying the flat rate. Oh, what if you're not using auto pay?
I don't think that
Well,
matters.
they still have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, oh, I should say too that since it's flexible scheduling, I do have to do a little bit of work as far as like they might not still be, your Wednesdays every Wednesday at 5, right? So there's a little bit of work of like, oh, okay, which weeks do you want or which weeks am I available? So I send out a form, you know, that just says like, tell me the weeks that you're gone, and then I schedule it. Otherwise, we just assume everyone's still at the same time, um, and then I'll just tell them, well, I'm gone these weeks, so we're having lessons here, here, and here. And like I said, sometimes double the length or twice in 1 week or whatever for students who are like really not around at all. They can still work, which is nice. Okay, what time is it? Well, that's cool. Yeah, that was good, and I'm glad Jennifer you joined. I had you on my list of like have her on the show to talk about summer at some point, and then people are already thinking about it, and this was kind of last minute. Um, so yeah, but secretly I did want you to talk about summer. So this was fun. I wasn't gonna ask you last minute like, would you do it? But you happened to
It
join,
worked
so
out.
yay! Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we could do we could do a whole nother episode just on like camp ideas and stuff because I know you have tons of those. So cool. Okay. Well,
Awesome.
we will wrap up. Thanks for everybody for joining and commenting. Those of you who are involved, and I'll make this into an actual podcast too. So take care. This has been the Piano Sensei Way.